Go. All right, we're adding water to the R12 adhesive. Hand mix by a stick seems to work better than the electric drill, simply because the electric drill creates enough friction and heat in the mix of the material and makes it set up too fast. So if you want to set it up fast, you can mix it up with the drill and the paddle. If you don't want to, you can just mix it up with the hand and the paddle.
Is this for this, Bob?
Pardon?
Is this adhesive for that?
That's the adhesive for the sheet. What this really is a waterproof membrane by itself. So what you're doing is you're going to waterproof the deck with the adhesive. Then you're going to put the deck coating, the sheet, pre-finished sheet deck coating over the top of it called Flexi-Ply. And then you're going to have a belt and the suspenders. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the best of the pre-formed guaranteed thickness of the sheet deck coating with all the aesthetic finishes there. We put water in it.
Oh, it's got water catalyzed?
Yeah, it's water catalyzed.
What do you use it for a gallon?
Couple ounces.
A couple ounces of water per
That's
gallon.
it?
Yeah, and it's hand mixed. You pour it out. And so we're actually waterproofing the deck at this moment, okay? And now this has our super seal tape underneath it, but it's not necessary. We can go directly to the galvanized steel flashing or stainless steel or copper flashing. We just happen to have done this with the super seal tape before. And basically we're just applying it up the wall, and it's becoming waterproof and performing as the adhesive for the sheet as we do this. Very liquid, applies very easily.
Doesn't seem to sag on the side either.
No. Now this, in 2.5 hours, this will be completely walkable. You'll be able to.
2.5 hours?
In 2.5 hours. Yeah. We're going to put the sheet over the top of it in a few minutes, and then in 2.5 hours, it's completely walkable. What's really interesting is that if you put the horizontal down, the sheet down, and you put the horizontal first, if somebody steps out of an apartment or out onto the deck, they don't leave footprints. So you can walk in it immediately, and you won't leave footprints in it. So it's that is after, just for the sake of clarity here, that is after we apply the Flexi-Ply over the top of it.
You have a minimum thickness?
We like about 30 mils of that's 50 square feet per gallon. About 30 mils of thickness on the. You gonna have enough, David?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I still have some in the can.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. That's the way to do it. There you go. There you go. Now we got.
That's just what you're going to be doing, Jim.
500 square feet, 80 stories up.
Pardon?
R12.
Oh, the R12 again?
Yeah, this is R12. So once again, what you're doing, you're applying a liquid waterproofing membrane that is your adhesive. So once heat trawls us out, we're waterproof.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put down the wearable pre-finished surface over the top of it.
I like that term. A wearable pre-finished.
Finished surface.
Wow, that sounds very nice.
Well, what's great about it is all the aesthetic work is done. All the slip resistance is done. You're not in a typical deck coating project. You first have to caulk the seams, and then you got to come back and you've got to tape the joint, and then you got to come back and you've got to put primer down or base coat down. Then you come back later, you throw sand into it, and then you come back and you back roll it. Then you come back and you put top coat on, and you throw sand into that, and then you top coat it. I mean, and then it's hours of cure in between each one of them.
The labor cost.
The labor cost and time, shutdown time. And if you're in occupied residences and multifamily, they don't want to shut it down.
Also think about this in an industrial environment where they have a situation that they have to resolve, like from now to in 2 hours
In
or
2
3
hours,
hours.
exactly.
This is the way to do it.
Absolutely.
I saw the strip there and saw
Out
the
front?
tire marks, all the 18 wheelers that went by today.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna allow it like 1 hour, or you're just gonna do the same as yesterday?
What are we going to do, Dave? Here, wait for a few minutes, or are we just going to apply it?
Well, as thin as this is, we probably go ahead and apply it.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. If you guys if you go out the front gate, there were there's 2 sheets of our Flexi-Ply applied in the traffic lane, okay? And you'll see that we covered a giant pothole, a severely cracked deck, and we coated it and we drove on it in an hour and a half outside. Yeah, we did the exact same product we're doing here. We completely filled in the potholes, got rid of all the joints and cracks,
Back rolled it.
and drove on it in an hour and a half.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty.
Let's wait a minute. I'll pull the tape and we'll set it.
So we're applying, just a few minutes later here, we're applying the Flexi-Ply to the deck.
Gotta run it out a little bit away from this back wall.
And a frame all over, and a turret on top, and 300 feet. It took a minute. The barrel shot down through.
It doesn't get much easier than that. This sheet was pre-cut, and then we will, and you can see how David's doing the right thing here now. He's pushing up the, along the corners, pushing up the adhesive, the waterproof adhesive, up the corners over the top. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come down and take the vertical, tie it into the horizontal, and caulk the joint. And the reason we only have to worry about caulking the joint is because we already have it waterproof, right? So now we have a waterproof surface on top, and we're now going to just add the preform finish right here. It doesn't get any easier, folks. And no metal flashing except at the drip edge. That's it. You caulk the bottom of that joint and you are home free. Literally, if somebody stepped out of their apartment or out of their house or whatever, out onto the deck right at this point, they would not leave a footprint.
You don't get to buy their carpet for them then.
You don't need to buy.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah. I mean, it is way cool.
Yeah, I love it when they step in once you pay for it.
Exactly.
You use silicone caulking?
No, we use our E101.
Silicone don't stick to nothing.
It's a softball.
What? What, you know, when you think about environments that are rainy, wet environments, and how quick, like in Miami, a thunderstorm can come along and just destroy your work for the day, this solves that problem. Or if you're in Seattle and it starts to rain.
Is it raining in Seattle?
No, a little bit. Only occasionally.
Yeah, we're getting their weather this weekend.
Yeah, we are.
It's rain all weekend here.
Work in the swamps.
Yep. So what you do now, he's finished. He caulks the perimeter of he caulks the perimeter along the seam down at the bottom. That seam is totally concealed and you're home free. And that took us all of about 20 minutes to do this deck. Now think about in terms of if this is on the 3rd floor of an apartment complex and you're having to climb over a 5-foot rail, okay, and you're got a 40-foot ladder, and the standard deck coating guy is walking up and down the ladder 5 or 6 times 40 foot with a heavy bucket of coating in his hand. He takes 1 or 2 gallons, comes up with a sheet, lays it out, caulks it, probably a tube of caulking, and you're done. You're out of there.
I'm still saying the requirement tool needs to be,
The second part of the video.
Okay, so by the way, I've been videoing this as we're going since they started laying. 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Please find a way to show.
Okay, so we're cutting through 2 sheets at the same time. Again, you want to make sure you have a very sharp knife. You want to make sure you're cutting through both sheets at the same time. Pull that out, pull this out. And now you have a perfectly matched seam. Michael, get a close-up of that if you can. So the R12 adhesive will hold it into place and hold it down. And that's how you make a perfect seam with Flexi-Ply.